In September 1939, Britain declared war on Germany. With the intention of breaking the morale of the British people, Hitler decided to begin bombing Britain's major cities, thus forcing Churchill to negotiate. The campaign, however, had the reverse effect, bringing the people together to face a common enemy. The evacuation of Britain at the beginning of World War II, often referred to as Operation Pied Piper, saw the displacement of 1.5 million children, pregnant women and vulnerable people, 2/3 of which came from London. Evacuees is the story of one such family.
"1939, the year I was born. February, to be precise. We lived in the top half of a house in Ordnance Road, Canning Town. My dad worked in a sweet factory and my mum did some work on her sewing machine, but neither paid well enough to keep us from being hungry sometimes. Mrs. Henry from downstairs would sometimes bring us up some stew, claiming she'd made too much, which wasn't true, but we were grateful for those acts of kindness. People were like that in those days. Times were hard, but they were about to get a lot harder. There was a lot of rumours flying around, and people would talk about a man named Hitler and events taking place across Europe. Britain was on the verge of war with Germany at that time, but I was blissfully unaware of that. I was, after all, just a few months old. For my parents and my sisters, though, it was a completely different story.
My name's Ron Gletherow. My wife, Edie, and I have 4 children, 3 girls, Violet, Edie and Sheila, and the youngest boy, George, who's still just a baby. We live in Ordnance Road, Canning Town, part of London's East End, close to the Royal Victoria and Albert Docks. It's what you might call a rough and ready neighbourhood, but the people are hard-working and proud. It's the summer of 1939, and I was on my way to work, passing by Rathbone Market. Rathbone Market's been around for hundreds of years. Colourful awnings protect vendors selling everything from parasols to potatoes. And they set up early in the morning. I was up earlier than usual, since once again I found I couldn't sleep. Along the way, I bumped into an old friend, Frank, the local policeman, on early shift, walking the beat. Now, I should point out that this is very much the age of the local bobby on the beat. Everyone knows Frank. He's part of the local community. A friend rather than an imposing figure of authority. Although it paid not to mess with him, as some have found out the hard way. Frank and myself have been pals for a long time and have a mutual respect for each other. So anyway, this morning we struck up a conversation, both of us concerned about what had dominated the news over the past few months. And the subject soon turned to events taking place across Europe, how tensions were growing so fast, and the inevitability of war with Germany. How's it going, Frank? Mind if I tag along for a bit?
Don't mind at all, Wal. Nice to have a bit of company. It'll help me take me mind off me bloody corns. It played me up again.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Frank. Anyway, seems like it's going to be a nice morning again.
Been a pretty nice summer all round, Well, at least we've had some decent weather to take our minds off all the bad news that's been flying around. I think this madman Hitler wants to own all of Europe, and he's getting closer every day. Never heard the latest about this rationing lark? They reckon we could be rationing food as soon as the war gets started.
Won't make much difference to me, Frank. We can't afford sod all anyway these days.
I'm with you there, Wal. Times are pretty hard. Still, looks like the stallholders are still optimistic. They're all out early this morning. Blimey, I've missed this place if they're to close up shop.
Yeah, I suppose it must be hard for them too, trying to make ends meet. Their profit margins must be getting smaller and smaller.
Rappy's in their blood, Wal. Most of them have stalls here going back generations. It's more of a way of life for them, and for us too, mate. I suppose Rappo Market's a bit of an institution.
Oh, you gotta go round the back with you when it's older one over there, mate. Oh. If you...
Well, there's many a tale passed from father to son of the market standing here, of long gone days, of dreams and hope, and people of good cheer.
Tell me about it, Frank.
For as long as I can remember, it's been a busy place. But now war is coming. I wonder, will it still be the case?
'Cause food will be in short supply almost every single day. You won't get much from your ration book if Hitler gets his way.
That's right.
It's bad enough us being skinned, and rationing's no joke. No, you won't get much with your ration book when we're already broke. Rathbone Market, been there since God knows when. Rathbone Market,
As acclaimed as old Big Ben.
Rathbone Market, and if you'd like a cup of tea, there's a nice little cafe when you go down Rappy, and it's waiting there for you and me. With its flowery curtain in tuppence a yard.
Oh,
It
that's
don't cover
nice.
much, but you know the times are hard.
Moody sarsaparilla and olive pie and mash.
Lovely.
Lots of other goodies if you got a little cash.
Where we ain't got much, but it costs nothing to look.
But there ain't much food you be taking up to cook.
No, you won't get much with your rationing book when you go to Rathbone Market. Rathbone Market, always there just like an old friend. Rathbone Market,
It's a symbol of the old East End.
Rathbone Market. Well, I think we can both agree that there's a nice little cafe when you go down Rappy, and it's waiting there for you and me. There's jelly deals and fruit and veg from sellers and their wives.
So
Most
what
of
do
them
you-
be working here the best part of their lives.
You won't get much if Hitler gets his way. Food will be in short supply every single day.
There's a bloke selling elastic for a tanner a yard.
Selling
I
what?
don't know what you do with it, but that's the my regard.
That's
It's just
true.
trying to make a living, and you know the times are hard when you go to Rathbone Market. Rathbone Market, been there since God knows when. Rathbone Market,
As acclaimed as old Big Ben.
Rathbone Market, and if you'd like a cup of tea, there's a nice little cafe when you go down Rappy, and it's waiting there for you and me. Rathbone Market, always there just like an old friend. Rathbone Market,
It's a symbol of the old East End.
Rathbone Market. Well, I think we can both agree that there's a nice little cafe when you go down Rappy, and it's waiting there for you and me. There's a nice little cafe when you go down Rappy, and it's waiting there for you and me. Well, time I was heading off to work. Ta-da, Frank.
Ta-da, Wal.
I'd had it on my mind all day. All this talk of war and the government saying how we need to get the children out of London. I tried to shut it out and concentrate on maintaining some sort of normality. But every day it seemed to be getting closer. I tried not to mention it to Edie, but I know it'd been playing on her mind too. I decided that tonight we'd have to talk about it. We couldn't put it off any longer.
Hello, love. How's your day been? Any more talk of a cutting overtime? Look, I know we need the money, but you could do with some rest too, especially after that burn. I do wish you'd tell your boss to buy some better gloves, ones that come up to your elbow. How is your arm now, by the way?
Oh, it's fine. No need to worry. No more news about overtime. Seems it's just a case of wait and see as always. A bit like everything else these days, I suppose.
What's up, Wal? You seem quiet. Has anything upset you?
No, really, I'm fine. It's just all this talk of evacuating the kids has been on my mind today.
What do you mean? You heard anything?
No, but it seems like something big is about to happen. Something getting closer.
You're talking about the evacuation, ain't you? I know. Every day I send the kids to school. I can't stand thinking about them not coming home one day. You know, we don't have to allow the government to send them out to God knows where in some stranger's care. I don't know if I can do this.
We have to make a decision pretty soon, love.
Well, let's just wait until we hear more. Mr. Chamberlain will let us know in plenty of time. It is only a suggestion right now. There's nothing definite yet.
We can't keep putting this off, Ed. We have to talk about it.
Yeah, but not tonight, eh, Wal?
No, Ed. We need to talk.
I can't, Wal. Don't ask me now. Not yet. I just can't.
I start to think about it all. I always try to be sure and think of what's best for all of us. At least it starts out that way, but now this time it seems it don't make no sense at all. It seems so hard to do the right thing.
It's never seemed so intense, so urgent. How can they ask me to do what no mother should have to decide? Sheila starts panicking, like you know she
I
does.
will make sure that she's fine.
But I won't be there, and I won't be able to help them.
That we really can't keep them here. We don't have a choice.
But I won't be there.
We must keep them
at
safe.
all.
We'll never know what would be if we don't do what's right.
But how can we send them away
When it seems so hard to do the right thing. It seems so hard to do the right thing. So we made our decision. Probably one of the hardest decisions we'd ever have to make. But we both agreed we just couldn't risk our children's lives when the bombs started to fall. So we worked out a routine. Mum would make them all up a packed lunch, usually just a sandwich and an apple, for them to take to school each day. She used the sewing machine to make small rucksack-style bags out of old pillowcases, in which she'd put a change of clothes for them. Off the kids would go to school every morning. Then, like me, she'd spend the day tormented with worry until they came home again in the afternoon. The authorities had decided to keep everything hush-hush for security reasons. None of us knew when or where the children would be taken. We couldn't know ahead of time when they'd actually be evacuated, because word might leak out to the Nazis. And we couldn't know where for the same reason. All arrangements were last minute. This uncertainty went on for some time, until the fateful day arrived.
Oi, Edie, they're taking the kids now.
What? Where are they taking them?
Canning Town Station. They're taking them to Canning Town Station. Looks like they're off out of London now.
What? No, oh no.
You alright, love? Looks like you're about to pass out.
They're gone. I'm too late. They're gone. I just wanted to say goodbye and tell them everything would turn out all right and that they'd be home again soon.
Oh my God, what a pity you missed them. But you weren't the only mum that did. All the kids looked fine, a little scared, but excited too. Don't you worry, the teachers were with them. Come and sit down, love. I'll make a cup of tea.
No, I can't. I have to get home. I have to tell I have to tell my husband. Oh, Wally, where are you when I need you?
Ede? What's up? You're as white as a ghost.
They're gone.
What? Oh no.
This has been the day I always feared, the day the darkness fell. This house, once filled with light, has now become an empty shell. All my life I've tried to be strong within my heart. Now it feels so hard, like my world is torn apart. I know I have been told it's for the best and we must carry on, but that don't make it any easier. Now they are gone and this house seems cold. There's no life within these walls. There's no sounds of laughter, and I can't hear my children call. And I am left to weep. The worst has happened here today. Missing and not knowing where they'll be sleeping. Tell me, where are the children now? Darkness fell today. Leaving me here alone. And I am left to weep. The worst has happened here today. Missing and not knowing where they'll be sleeping. Tell me, where are the children? Where were they taken? Where are the children now?
And that's how it was for many parents all over London. I saw quite a lot of Wally and Edie over the next few weeks. I told Wally to keep his chin up, but I knew what my words were meaningless. Their lives had been torn apart. And then later, the air raid started, and Wally knew that Edie would have to leave soon too. She was expecting and vulnerable herself, as well as little Georgie. He's hardly a toddler, not even a year old yet. Wally knew he had to get them to safety. As for Wally and me, we were the ones who had to stay behind to clear up the mess. I was the local policeman and he was Chief Air Raid Warden. We had responsibilities and those were pretty awful. Too many nights we had to dig people out of the rubble, most of them dead or badly hurt. But we had a job to do and it made us feel like we were doing our bit alongside our brave boys in the forces. Brown paper packaging and trusting eyes, waiting at the station for the train to come. Tear-stained faces on a roller coaster ride, moving out of London. And they haven't got no time to wave goodbye. Parents, teachers guide the flock to stand in line, clutching bundles, shuffling down the platform. Tiny hands are reaching for those they cannot find, heading for the country, and they haven't got no time to wave goodbye. Children leaving, mothers weeping, fathers off to war. Hard now to imagine 1939. With a change of clothes and food for their journey, they came in their thousands from out of the slums of the city, in a war without pity. Ours came from the East End, where they feared the worst. Name tags hanging loosely from their coats. Some come from south of the river, where the lump held in their throats, heading up to who knows where, and they haven't got no time to wave goodbye. Children leaving, mothers weeping, families torn apart. Life would never ever be the same. A silent crowd, afraid for their future, heading for somewhere, not knowing when they'll meet again. All of us feeling the pain. Older brothers, younger sisters, hand in hand, wondering in amazement what was going on. Boring trains and buses for an unfamiliar land, heading up to who knows where. They ain't got no time Do wave.